We all face decisions in life. Whether it's a minor choice, like what to eat for breakfast, or a life-altering one, like choosing a career path, our minds are constantly churning, weighing options, analyzing possibilities. It's human nature to contemplate, to consider the potential outcomes of our choices. But here's the catch. Our thoughts are often biased, skewed by our personal experiences, beliefs, and the information we've been exposed to. The danger is that when our thinking is distorted and we fail to recognize that distortion, the quality of our lives can suffer dramatically. It's not just about making bad decisions that cost us money or hinder our professional progress. It's about the potential to damage relationships, miss opportunities, and ultimately live a life that's far less fulfilling than it could be. So how do we escape this trap of flawed thinking? How do we hone our minds to become sharper, more objective, and ultimately better equipped to navigate the complexities of life? The answer lies in developing critical thinking skills, a powerful tool set that enables us to analyze information, identify biases, and form sound judgments. Now you might be thinking, wait, what exactly is critical thinking? It's a term that gets thrown around a lot, but its true meaning can seem elusive. Academics have debated its precise definition for years, but for our purposes, let's keep it simple and practical. Critical thinking is the ability to think deeply and thoroughly about a situation or problem. It means approaching issues with a discerning eye, not blindly accepting information at face value. Instead, it's about asking probing questions, gathering evidence from various sources, and evaluating that evidence carefully before forming a conclusion. The concept of critical thinking is often contrasted with uncritical thinking, which, as the name suggests, is the opposite. It's a passive way of thinking, where we readily accept whatever information comes our way without questioning its validity or considering alternative perspectives. Imagine, for example, you're trying to solve a problem at work, and a colleague suggests a solution. Uncritical thinking would lead you to immediately accept that solution without further thought, simply because it was presented to you as an option. You might miss a better solution or fail to identify potential flaws in your colleague's suggestion. Another example of uncritical thinking is blindly adhering to a political or religious ideology without questioning its underlying assumptions or considering alternative viewpoints. This can lead to rigid thinking, intolerance, and a failure to engage in constructive dialogue with those who hold different beliefs. Critical thinking, on the other hand, would involve digging deeper. You'd question your colleague's solution, exploring its pros and cons, gathering additional information, and considering other possible solutions before making a decision. But critical thinking isn't just about problem solving. It's a way of life, a lens through which we can view the world with greater clarity and insight. By developing critical thinking skills, we're essentially training our brains to become more discerning, insightful, and ultimately more capable of navigating the complexities of life. But why is critical thinking so crucial, particularly in academia and the professional world? The answer is that it's essential for success in any field that requires independent thought, problem solving, and decision-making. In higher education, students are expected to move beyond rote memorization and engage with complex ideas, analyze theories, and formulate their own arguments. Critical thinking is crucial for research, writing essays, and engaging in meaningful discussions. However, our traditional educational system often focuses heavily on theoretical knowledge and rigid curriculum, leaving little room for open-ended discussions and the development of critical thinking skills. Students are often taught to simply absorb information and regurgitate it on exams, rather than questioning, analyzing, and synthesizing information to form their own conclusions. As students transition into the professional world, critical thinking becomes even more critical. Employees who can think critically are highly valued in any organization because they can analyze problems, identify solutions, and make sound decisions that benefit the company. They're adaptable, resourceful, and able to navigate unexpected challenges. Imagine, for example, a financial analyst advising clients on investment strategies. The analyst must critically evaluate market trends, assess risk, and develop tailored recommendations based on the client's individual circumstances. Uncritical thinking, in this scenario, could lead to disastrous investment decisions. The ability to think critically is not only crucial for success in specific fields, but also for navigating everyday life. It helps us become informed citizens, making better decisions about our personal finances, health, and relationships. By questioning information, considering different perspectives, and evaluating evidence, we can avoid falling prey to scams, misinformation, and manipulative tactics. For example, think about the information we consume on social media and the internet. We're bombarded with news articles, opinion pieces, and advertisements, all vying for our attention. Critical thinking enables us to discern fact from fiction, identify biases, and evaluate the credibility of sources. Without it, we're vulnerable to misinformation, propaganda, and the spread of harmful ideologies. So how can we develop critical thinking skills? While there's no one-size-fits-all approach, there are specific steps we can take to hone our critical thinking abilities. One essential element is questioning the assumptions we make. We often operate on autopilot, making decisions based on ingrained beliefs or habits without questioning their validity. By consciously examining our assumptions, we can challenge our own biases and open ourselves up to new possibilities. For example, you might assume that a certain investment is guaranteed to yield high returns because you heard about it from a friend. Critical thinking would involve questioning that assumption, researching the investment, analyzing market trends, and considering potential risks before committing your money. Another crucial aspect of critical thinking is learning to reason logically. This involves identifying the underlying structure of arguments, evaluating the evidence presented, and assessing the validity of conclusions. It also means recognizing common fallacies or errors in reasoning that can lead to flawed arguments. For instance, one common fallacy is the post hoc fallacy, which assumes that because one event happened after another, the first event must have caused the second event. Just because you started a new marketing campaign before your sales increased doesn't necessarily mean the campaign caused the increase. Other factors, such as seasonal demand or changes in the market, could have contributed to the rise in sales. To enhance our logical reasoning abilities, we can engage in activities like debating, playing logic puzzles, and analyzing arguments presented in articles and speeches. By practicing these skills, we can become more adept at identifying flaws in reasoning and constructing sound arguments. A third key step in developing critical thinking is embracing intellectual humility. This means acknowledging that we don't have all the answers and being open to learning from others, even those who hold different views. It's about recognizing our own biases and limitations and being willing to change our minds when presented with compelling evidence. Intellectual humility is essential for fostering constructive dialogue and collaboration. It allows us to engage with diverse perspectives, learn from each other's insights, and arrive at more informed and well-rounded conclusions. It's the opposite of dogmatically clinging to our own beliefs and dismissing any information that challenges our worldview. Finally, practicing critical thinking requires courage. It means being willing to challenge the status quo, question authority, and stand up for what we believe is right, even when it's unpopular or uncomfortable. This can be especially challenging in environments where conformity is valued and dissent is discouraged. However, true critical thinking requires us to be independent thinkers, willing to go against the grain when necessary to seek the truth. It's important to remember that developing critical thinking skills is an ongoing process. It's not something we achieve overnight, but rather a continuous journey of learning, growth, and self-reflection. To further enhance your critical thinking abilities, consider incorporating these practices into your daily life. Engage in active listening. When someone is speaking, truly listen to their words, consider their perspective, and ask clarifying questions. Don't just wait for your turn to speak or formulate your rebuttal. Seek out diverse perspectives. Read books, articles, and watch documentaries from sources that challenge your own viewpoints. Expose yourself to a range of ideas and opinions, even those that might make you uncomfortable. Practice analytical reading. When reading articles or books, don't just skim the surface. Pay attention to the author's arguments, the evidence they present, and the conclusions they draw. Analyze their reasoning, identify any biases, and evaluate the overall credibility of their work. Engage in constructive debates. Find opportunities to engage in respectful debates with others on topics that interest you. This will help you practice formulating arguments, defending your position, and considering alternative viewpoints. Reflect on your own thinking. Take time to reflect on your own thought processes. Identify your own biases and analyze how your personal experiences and beliefs influence your judgments. By becoming more aware of your own mental patterns, you can start to challenge and refine them. Critical thinking is not a magic bullet that will solve all of life's problems, but it's a powerful tool that can help us make more informed decisions, navigate complex situations, and ultimately live more fulfilling lives. It's a lifelong skill that's worth cultivating, regardless of your age, profession, or background. If you found this podcast informative and helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more content on personal development, critical thinking, and other topics that can help you navigate life with greater clarity and purpose. Thank you for listening. And remember, the journey of critical thinking starts with a single question.